So the theme of the today's sloka is from wandering mind to divine consciousness. Okay. So before we get into the topic, let me ask one question to all of you. Okay. So one request before we start the class. If any of you are having any background noise, please mute yourself. Otherwise, it's okay to be having an interactive session, right? Okay. I would like to make it very interactive so that we all can contribute and learn together, right? Okay. Okay. So the theme is why the theme of the today's topic is wandering mind to divine consciousness, right? So we are talking about mind, right? And most of us have very, very busy schedules, right? Since morning we get up, we are busy with looking at our notifications, getting ready for our job, looking at ahead into our job to get how to get the promotion, how to get more bonus, how to earn more in our business, how to study well so that we can get merits in academics, right? We are doing a lot of things, right? And one goal after the other goal, right? So as long as we are children, parents ask us to study. If you study well, then after the studies are over, then your life is settled. Then once you get into the studies are complete and once you get into the job, then the parents will ask, just join the job, you do work well, then you will get a good position, right? So hard endeavor, smart working, work for the companies, also work for the own businesses, and then spend all our time and energy to meet our goals, right? Then, oh, I earned this much, others earn so much, they bought the good house, they bought a good car, I also need to buy, right? And then we start further endeavoring, right? And then at the end, do we get happiness?
No.
No, right? So we think that after achieving all these things, we may be happy, right? With that objective in mind, we start working for it, we do endeavoring, and then after achieving that, are we very satisfied?
No.
No, right? If we are not satisfied and if our mind is keep chasing the new goals and new pleasures, then when we will get the final peace? When we are doing something, we should be having some result, right? Happiness, pleasure, peaceful mind, right? If I earn too much, billions, trillions, but if I am not happy, is it useful?
No.
No, right? So we all are doing endeavoring for the happiness and peace in the life, right? But our mind is never satisfied. We are not getting the peace forever, right? So the peace forever, when we will get? Is it
Death.
after the, yes, Prabhu?
Death after death.
Yeah, is it after the rest in peace?
When we do meditation and prayers.
Yeah.
Mm.
When we
We
do meditation and prayers, right? So prayers, right? So why are we doing prayers? Why not we are doing something else? That we will discuss in today's topic, right? Okay. So today's topic, the sloka of the day, the context is Arjuna came to the war field, in the battlefield. He was supposed to start fight with his relatives, spiritual master, his master, and his grandfather, all the relatives, right? Then suddenly he got confused. Am I doing right? I'm fighting with our own kinsmen's grandfather, master. Is it correct? Right? Then he was overwhelmed. Then suddenly his body started trembling, and he talks a lot about bodily consciousness, right? And then finally he says, Krishna, I'm unable to fight. I'm not able to hold my bow and arrow. I cannot fight. My consciousness is not accepting. Please guide me. What is the right? Right? Then Krishna started speaking from the middle of the second chapter. He gives from the he gives the knowledge of who we are. We are spirit souls, and then he starts giving the spiritual consciousness, and then he talks about what is the nature of the soul. All then he comes to the buddhi yoga, right? He comes to buddhi yoga, and then he starts explaining how the what are the Vedas, and how the Vedic rituals, how the Vedic rituals causes the distraction for our end goal, right? And how to be study in intelligence. That is what being covered in the last session, right? Any of you remember what was the translation or the key message from the last discourse? 2 weeks ago, all wiped off, right? Our memory is loaded with new shots, right? That's why we should read Bhagavad Gita every day, right? So the Krishna is telling how to be spiritually intelligent, study intelligence, right? And then spiritually fixed and have divine consciousness, right? So that is what is going to be covered today, right? So Arjuna got confused, and Krishna started giving divine consciousness or spiritual consciousness, right? Okay. So today's sloka. So today we are not having the class physically in the temple. We do not have the time constraint. Of course, we try to meet the given time, right? But I would like to request the devotees who have joined, right? Especially those who have never tried to recite the Bhagavad Gita sloka, please take this opportunity. And I would like to encourage the devotees to give a try, attempt to recite the sloka today. I will try to help as much as possible, and it is not a difficult sloka, right? So first, let us go through the word by word, and then we can recite the sloka. After that, I'll give the chance to all of you to recite, right? Not all, but most of you, right? Okay. Shruti, just follow me. Shruti
Shruti
viprati
Viprati
panna
Panna
Na
te.
Te
Shruti viprati panna te.
Shruti Viprati Panna Te
Yada
यदा
kasyati
Ta Shruti
Sati
nischala.
Nishala
Yada sasyati nischala.
Yada Stasi
यास्तासि
Nishala
निश्चला
Samadho
Samadho
माधव
achala
Achala
अचला
buddhis.
Buddhis
बुद्धिस्
Buddhi
Samadho achala buddhi.
Samadho
समाधव
Achala
अचला
Buddhi
Buddhi
बुद्धिस्
Tada
Tada
तदा
Tada
yogam
Yogam
गम
Tam
avapsyasi.
Avapyasi
अवाप्स्यसि
Shruti vipratipanna te.
Shruti
श्रुति
Viprati
प्रतिपन्ना
Panna
ते
Te
Yada syasyati nischala.
यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला
समाधौ अचला बुद्धिः
समाधावचला
समाधवचला
बुद्धिः
बुद्धि
तदा योगम् अवाप्स्यसि.
तदा
योगम वापस्यसि.
Yeah. Devotees can take turns to recite. The devotees who have never tried, please give a try. Shruti Vipratipannate. Yeah.
यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला
Yada
यदा
syastati
स्थास्यति
nischala.
समाधव अचाला बुद्धिः
Samadhau achala buddhihi.
तद योगम अवस्यसि
Tada yogam avapsyasi. Yeah. Thank you, Matu. Others, please try.
श्रुति विप्रतिपन्ना ते
Shruti Vipratipannate.
प्रतिपन्नादे
यदा यदा सस्तास्यति निश्चला
Yada
यदा
यदा
stasyati
स्थास्यति
nischala.
निश्चला
समाधवाचला बुद्धिस्तदा
Samadhau
समाधव
achala
अचला
buddhihi.
बुद्धिः
तदा
तदा
Tada
योगम
yogam.
योगमवापस्यसि.
Tada
योगं
तदा
yogam
योगम
avapsyasi.
अवाप्स्यसि
Thank you, Mataji. Good try, good. Others, please try. Once you try.
श्रुति
Yeah, please go ahead.
विप्रतिपन्नाते
Shruti
प्रतिपन्नादे
Vipratipannate.
यदा सदास्यति निश्चलः
Yada
यदा
stasyati
स्थास्यति
nischala.
निश्चलः
समादो अचल बुद्धिः
Samadho achala
समाधवाचला
buddhihi.
बुद्धिः
तदा योगं हवपसि
Tada
तदा
yogam
योगम
avapsyasi.
अवाप्स्यसि
Thank you, Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Others, please.
श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते
Shruti Vipratipannate.
यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला
Yada
यदा
stasyati
स्थास्यति
nischala.
निश्चला
समाधाव अचला बुद्धिः
Samadha
समाधव
achala
अचला
buddhi.
बुद्धिः
तदा योगम् अवाप्स्यसि
Tada
तदा
yogam
योगम अवाप्स्यसि
avapsyasi. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody would like to try? Those who have never tried, please try. Nothing wrong. Just by doing one attempt, you will learn. You will get the confidence. Shiva Prabhu, Danu Mataji would like to try. Jivan Prabhu.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, please
Hare
try.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Shruti Virpati
Shruti
Yada
Vipratipannate.
Yada Stasyati Nischala
Yada
यदा
stasyati
स्थास्यति
nischala.
निश्चला
Samadhav Achala Buddhis
Samadha
समाधव
achala
अचला
buddhi.
बुद्धिः
Tada Yogam Avapsyasi.
Tada
तदा
yogam
योगम
avapsyasi.
अवाप्स्यसि
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jivan Prabhu, Shivani Mataji, try, give try.
श्रुतिविप्रतिपन्नाते यदा सरस्वती निश्चला समाधव अचला बुद्धिस्तदा योगम अवस्यसि.
Thank you, Prabhu, and thank you, Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah. Anybody else would like to give a try? Rare opportunity we get like this for everybody to recite. Nisha Mataji would like to give a try. Mano Mataji.
Okay, I will try.
Yes, please try.
Shruti vipratipanati
Shruti Vipratipannate
yada stasyati niskala
Yadastasyati Nichala
amadev akala buddhi
Samadho Achala Buddhi
tada yogam avapsasi.
Tada Yogam Avapsyasi. Thank you, Mataji. Good, good. Last chance. Who wants to take? Who have never tried, please give a try.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, please try.
Sorry, I got disconnected while unmuting my mic.
Yeah, now you connected. And
Yeah.
Krishna wants you to recite.
Thank you. Okay, I'll try.
Yes, yes.
Shruti Vipratipannate
Shruti Vipratipannate
Yada Stasyati Nischala
Yadastasyati Nichala
Samadhav Achala Buddhi
Samadha Achala Buddhi
Tada Yogam Avapsyasi.
Tada Yogam Avapsyasi. Good.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Thank you,
you.
Mataji. Good. See, all of you can chant, right? Bhagavad Gita is easy. Just we have to try, right? Yeah. One last chance. Who wants to take up? Last chance. Whoever is just on the borderline and need to one push can try.
I will try, Prabhuji.
Yes, very good. Thank you, Mataji. Try.
Shruti Vipratipannate
Shruti Vipratipannate
Yadyastasyati Nischala
Yada Syasyati Nischala
Samadhav Achala Buddhi
Samadhav Achala Buddhi
Tada Yogam Avayapsyasi.
Tada Yogam Avapsyasi. Yeah, very good, Mataji. Thank you. Okay. Then we go to the, sorry. We go to the word to word meaning, right? Please, you can repeat after me. Shruti, Vedic revelation,
Vedic revelation.
Vipratipanna,
Vipratipanna.
without being influenced
without being influenced
by the fruitive results of the Vedas.
The fruitive results of the Vedas.
Te,
Te
your,
Your.
yada,
yada
when,
When
stasyati,
Stasyati
remains,
remains
nischala,
Nischala
unmoved,
unmoved
samadhav,
Samadha
in transcendental consciousness or
in
Krishna
transcendental consciousness.
consciousness,
achala,
Chala
unflinching,
unflinching
buddhihi,
buddhi,
intelligence,
intelligence,
tada,
tada,
at that time,
at the time.
yogam,
Yogam.
self-realization,
Self-realization.
avapsasi,
avapsasi,
you will achieve,
You will
will
achieve.
achieve.
right? So, if you look at the sloka, right, there are few words which are highlighted, which are bold, right? Let me see how many of you can remember the things well. Just look at the sloka, remember the bold words, right? Later, after 2-3 slides, I will ask what are the words which are bold. Nischala, Samadhav, Achala, Buddhi, right? Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada ki. Okay. Please repeat after me. When your mind no longer disturbed
No longer disturbed
by the flowery language of Vedas,
by the flowery language of the Vedas,
and when
when
it remains fixed
it remains fixed
in the trance of the self-realization,
Trance of
The trance of the self-realization.
self-realization,
then
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 you will have
you will have
attained
attained
the divine consciousness.
the divine consciousness.
Anybody would like to read the purport? Very simple, one paragraph purport.
I will do.
Yes, please.
To say that one is in samadhi is to say that one has fully realized Krishna consciousness. That is, one in full samadhi has realized Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. The highest perfection of self realization is to understand that one is eternally the servitor of Krishna and that one's only business is to discharge one's duties in Krishna consciousness. A Krishna conscious person or unflinching devotee of the Lord should not be disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas nor be engaged in fruitive activities for promotion to the heavenly kingdom. In Krishna consciousness, one comes directly into communion with Krishna.
Communication. It's wrong. Yeah, yeah. Communion with.
Communion with Krishna, and thus all directions from Krishna may be understood in that transcendental state. One is sure to achieve results by such activities and attain conclusive knowledge. One has only to carry out the orders of Krishna or his representative, the spiritual master.
Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Okay. So now we'll go into the understanding of this purport, right? Anybody can tell me now what are the key words in the sloka?
Nischala,
Thank you, Mataji. Nischala. Yes.
Achala.
Achala. Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Then
he
Buddhihi. Yes. Then Samadho. Yeah. Okay. Nischala, Samadho, Achala, Buddhihi. You are all intelligents. Very good memory. Thank you, Mataji. Right? Okay. Now we go into the understanding, right? So the first line of the purport says to say that one is in samadhi, right? And if you look into the first line of the translation, when your mind is no longer disturbed, right? First, we have to understand what is disturbing our mind. How many of you are here whose mind is not disturbing you? All of you, your mind is disturbing you or not disturbing you?
It's disturbing.
It is disturbing, right? Anybody here whose mind is not disturbing? No, right? So we all agree that a mind is disturbing, right? Have we ever tried to look into our own things and look into our mind and what it is being disturbed? Why my mind is being disturbed? Did we do we spend our time for ourselves, me time, right? And look into ourselves. What is disturbing me? Right? These are the common observations, right? What disturbs us every day in a day-to-day life?
thoughts.
Thoughts related to
Past.
Our to-do list.
to-do list. Yeah, correct. To-do list. What to do? Yes. All are there on the screen. If you look at observe clearly.
What social media, what we see, it disturbs us. Other
Yes.
people, what we see.
Yes.
Yes. Social media. Yes. What else?
Our own desires. We want this, we want
Desires.
that.
Yes.
And when we see social media or anywhere, we like it's written here comparison. We do compare
Yeah.
comparison either for our kids or for ourselves or for our life.
Yes. Good. Then?
Stress and anxieties.
Yes. Stress and anxieties. Right. Then all these are coming from where?
Mind, our own mind,
Our own mind and having desires, right?
desires.
We
Yeah.
have some desires and we work for to fulfill the desires. And if the desires are not fulfilled, then we'll get stressed up, right? And all, if you look into all our desires, right? All these desires are for what? All these
Future,
desires are for what?
future,
Future, yes. In future, what we want to do? Future,
like how we expect our life to be.
right. So future, we want to have according to our wish and will, right? Like have fame, success, right? Fulfill all our desires, right? Okay. And are we stopping here itself? Are we looking further that, oh, I just want to enjoy here in this earthly planet? Are we also trying to go beyond earth and enjoy? Those who are moderately rich, they try to enjoy within their permittable surroundings. And those who are very rich, they are trying to enter into other planets to enjoy. All of you agree? Right? So now, because of the technology advancement, we want to go to the other planets and enjoy there. Previously, in the olden days, where technology was not so advanced in the science, but the lot of Vedic knowledge was there, people still used to fulfill that desires through the following the rituals described in Vedas. And one popular example is recently we celebrated that festival. Story between father and son. What festival we celebrated recently?
Narsimha Jayanti.
Narsimha Jayanti. How the Narsimha Jayanti is related to this flowery language of Vedas? How Hiranyakashipu become so strong? Did he do anything?
From the flowery language of the people around him.
Yes, that is after achieving. But before that, how he become so strong?
He did tapasya.
He did tapasya, right? Tapasya, is it defined by himself or is it mentioned in the Veda?
It is mentioned in the Vedas.
It is mentioned in the Vedas, right? He did tapasya for Lord Brahma, right? The one good thing in the olden days, in the other millenniums, was that even the asuras, they used to follow the Vedas to achieve what they want. Even they are envious of the Lord, or even they want to fulfill their material desires, they used to follow the Vedas. Vedas have different parts. The first parts of the Vedas talks about how to get higher pleasures, right? Pleasure in a higher plane, higher planets, right? If you want to enjoy in heavenly planets, what yajnas or what processes we can follow, rituals we can follow, it is mentioned in the Vedas, right? So when our basic needs are fulfilled and our the basic enjoyment is fulfilled, then we look into the higher, then we will go into all these directions, right? And this goes never ending. Why? The reason is, even though the Hiranyakashipu become so strong and he was ruling all the three worlds, right? He wants to become immortal, but was he peaceful? All the devatas were listening to him, under control of him. Everything was under control of him. Was he peaceful?
No.
No. But his 5 years old son, Prahlad Maharaj, was very peaceful without having any of these. What is the difference between both of them?
Because the child don't want anything.
Don't
He
want
don't.
anything. How the don't want anything can give the peace?
Prahlad have less desires, and Hiranyakashipu want to control other people, want to acquire more
Yes.
power.
Yeah. Hiranyakashipu was strong externally, right? He wants to lord over everybody and he wants to control externally. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj was control internally, right?
Correct.
Right? So with this, what is your understanding now? Should we follow the processes which are mentioned in the Vedas, which gives us the pleasure in the heavenly planets? Should we follow that, or should we follow the processes in the Vedas which gives or which makes us strong internally?
Which makes us strong internally.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's the end in one slide, the entire class, right? But let's look into further details, right? Why we say that these pleasures are mentioned as flowery languages in Veda, right? If you look at any flower, right? This is already we discussed in second chapter itself in the 43rd or 44th verse, right? Flower by nature is very attractive, right? And today you see the flower very attractive, but after some time or after few hours, it will become weather and then it will no longer be attractive, right? So not all attractive will be long lasting, right? So some examples which we are all attracted, or some of us attracted, or the others are attracted, are wine, women, enjoy with the celestial beings, having the life in a heavenly planets, right? Unbreakable joy, unlimited enjoyment, all these things. People think that that is what the life is, having heavenly pleasures, right? And for that, one example I can give, which is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita, as it is by Srila Prabhupada, that Jyotish Yajna, right? If you perform this, you will be elevated to the heavenly planets, and there you can enjoy. What you can enjoy there? You can enjoy with the apsaras, that celestial beings, and you can enjoy the somarasa, right? All these things you can enjoy. But how long? If you see this picture clearly, we are behind the enjoyment, which are these. But once our pious account is completed, then we will be dragged to the dark side of this. That is this earthly planet. Again, we come back to the earthly planet once our account is finished. As long as our pious account is there, we will enjoy there. And once it is completed, we will be pushed down to this earthly planet, and then we will be continuing our birth and death. The reason is, even the heavenly planets, or even the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, in the material realm, everywhere the longevity, the lifespan is higher, but death is certain. Means we are still going in the cycle of birth and death. The level of sense gratification is higher as we go in higher planets. And once we go there, and if we do not continue our Krishna consciousness, right, then there is every possibility that we will be fall down to this material earthly planet, and then we will continue to have the same sufferings, right? Again, we will go into the birth cycle, then we will have all this old age, disease, and then death, and this will go on, right? So how it is explained in the Bhagavad Gita itself, as this is having a going to Swargaloka is like having a golden cage. If I put somebody in a golden cage, is it a happy or is it a distress? If somebody is put in a cage,
Distress.
distress. Why?
Whether gold or silver or platinum, you're still in a cage.
Yes, right? That is what. So what are we talking about this cage? This cage is cycle of birth and death, right? Even if we go into the Brahmaloka, still we are subjected to the death. Even Lord Brahma is also having death, right? So this is in a modern example. One person was sent to jail for a reason. Then after going into the jail, he was very, very disciplined, following all the rules and regulations of the jail, nicely behaving. People started wondering why this so nice behavior person came to jail. Okay? And one time, president visit to the prison. Right? And this person was picked. Usually during the national days, they will give some mercy of the president, right? So this person was picked, and then he was brought in front of the president, and president asked, "What do you want? We are very happy with your behavior. Sorry, somebody is having noise. Please mute yourself if you are not talking related to the class." So then, when the president asked, this person died. Sorry, please mute yourself.
Rukmani, please mute yourself, please. Thank you.
And this person said, "What do you want?" And this person said, "I'm feeling hot in this prison. Please send me to a prison where there is aircon." How does this looks? Is it a wise thought? If somebody asks, "I want to be same condition life, but with higher standards of life," is it wise? No. Yes or no?
No.
No. Why? Why no? Still conditioned, right? Whether I'm put it in a aircon high-tech jail or normal jail, still jail. I don't have freedom. I have to obey the rules of the jail, right? Same thing. Whether I'm in a Brahmaloka or whether I'm in a other higher planet system or whether I'm in an earthly planet system, so long as I'm subjected to the death, birth, old age and disease, it is same. Doesn't matter how long I'm going to live in each planet, but still I'm subjected to the death. Still subjected to the old age, still subjected to the disease. Right?
Yes.
So then why should I stay in a material world itself, where there is a death and birth is certain? Then what should I do? Should I look for some place where there is no birth and death? Should I try for it?
Yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Right?
Yes.
Yes.
So if I need to try, right, then I should follow some procedure, right? Some processes I need to follow so that I can go to that place, right? Some of you may get doubt. Oh, all these nice rituals also mentioned in the Vedas. Vedas come from the Lord himself, right? Lord, he has given these Vedas to Brahma when the creation started. Then why the Lord has given these things if they are not useful? The Vedas, there are two parts. The first part is talks about the Karma Kanda section, where rituals, benefits, material benefits, and all. The later part of the Vedas talks about the real purpose of the life and how can we achieve the goal of the life. The first part is for less intelligence and the later part is for the more intelligence, right? So that's why we have to elevate ourselves to become more intelligent and understand what is mentioned in the second part of the Vedas, where what is the actual purpose of Veda. So we have to understand here very clearly, Krishna is not rejecting the Vedas because Vedas are given by him. Veda means knowledge. So there is never contempt of the Vedas. Krishna is not rejecting the Vedas. But Krishna is saying attachment to temporary material rewards, material benefits, and following that rituals is not recommended. Right? And Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15, text 15, Krishna mentions, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishno mattha smritir jnanam apohanancha vedeshcha sarvai rahameva vedya vedanta krud vedavid eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. Lord Krishna is seated in everyone's heart, and from me comes the remembrance and knowledge and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta and I am the knower of the Vedas. Krishna is saying he is the compiler of the Vedas and the goal of the Vedas is to know him. Right? This is the ultimate purpose of the Vedas. Vedas is to understand Krishna and to know the process how to reach him, right? That is the most important thing we have to understand. Right? Easy to remember, right? 15:15. 15th chapter, 15th sloka, 15:15.
Yes.
How do we come to this? You see the contrast. If you follow the one part of the Vedas, you are behind the material desires. If you follow the other part of the Vedas, you are elevated to the platform. And what makes this difference? The difference is the moment you are get in touch with the devotees of the Lord, when you take the shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master, right? Then he will guide us. The moment we accept the spiritual master and we inclined to have association with the devotees who encourage us to follow the instructions of the spiritual master, then the spiritual master gives the actual understanding of the Vedas and what spiritual practices we need to follow, how we can control our senses, ultimately, what is the spiritual knowledge to be gained. Then how can we go back to goal, how can we achieve our goal of going back to Krishna in Vaikunta, Goloka, Vrindavanam, right? The moment we are come in touch with the devotees and we take the shelter or when we accept the spiritual master, then all these things will come into our life, right? That's why the most highest importance is given to have the association of the devotees and seek the shelter at the lotus feet of the spiritual master. One should have a spiritual master in the life. Then what will happen when we come into the contact with the spiritual master? Spiritual master will tell us who we are and from where we are originated, who is our master, why we forgot our relationship with master, and what is our eternal duty, how can we happy forever, what we should do to revive our relationship with our master, and what can make us be happy forever, right? And that is called, the spiritual master will start giving us this knowledge with the sadhana bhakti, right? Spiritual practices. And first thing, the spiritual master will tell who we are. We are not these bodies, we are the spirit souls, and our master is Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is seated in our heart as a Paramatma, and we have to worship him by all means, right? Then by following the instructions of the spiritual master, what will happen? We will get perfection in Krishna consciousness. We have been talking about Krishna consciousness, Krishna consciousness. What is Krishna consciousness? Can anybody tell me what is exactly Krishna consciousness means?
When the knowledge of Krishna comes and reaches you, and that's
The
when you
knowledge of
actually
Krishna?
reaches you, and
Yeah.
that's when you feel that you are actually feeling the Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
So
Means, thank you, Mataji. Means we are conscious of Krishna, right? See, God conscious, Krishna conscious, self-conscious, knowing ourselves, then knowing who Krishna is and understanding what is our relationship with Krishna. All this comes under part of Krishna consciousness. If our consciousness is fully about Krishna, right? Then that is called Krishna consciousness, right? We are trying to know who Krishna is, right? And how this happens? The moment we approach a bona fide spiritual master who is a pure devotee, once we approach, right, he will guide us how to take fully surrender to Krishna. When we can become fully surrendered to Krishna? When we know who Krishna is, right? So what help spiritual master will do? He will take us from ignorance to light. That is, from ignorance of having the tendency to enjoy ourselves to a state where we will say, I am fully dependent on Krishna, because Krishna is a source of everything. Right? And this is what happens when we take shelter at the lotus feet of spiritual master. He will deliver Krishna to us. Once we get to know this, once we become Krishna consciousness, our consciousness becomes steady. Our connection with Krishna becomes stronger. Our relationship with Krishna becomes revived and consistent. Then what happens? We will get clarity of our life. Then we will be in samadhi state. right? Samadhi state means what? Samadhi state means samyak adhyate smin, means you are fully conscious of the goal of the life. What is that? Goal of the life is to go back to Godhead and engage ourselves in the service of the Lord. The tendency to enjoy ourselves without the Lord is rejected, condemned. Right? Such persons who are in Samadhi state, they are very firm, not distracted, not bewildered by the material pleasures. Right? They understand clearly what is gives the permanent happiness, what is temporary happy, right? They have that clear clarity. Such state is called samadhi. When we come to that stage, what exactly happens? We realize all the three features of the Lord. What are the three features of the Lord? That is also mentioned in the purport, right? The Lord can be realized in three features or the three stages. First, his impersonal Brahman is bodily effulgence. That is called impersonal Brahman. Then Paramatma feature of the Lord, which is this second, right? Who is seated in everybody's heart. All the living entities having Paramatma in their heart, who is guiding us, right? And then the full realization of the Lord is Bhagavan realization. Right? Once we come to the stage of Samadhi, we are eligible to become the complete realization of Supreme Personality of Godhead, that is Bhagavan realization. Okay. Completely understanding about all the features of the Lord and all the knowledge of the Lord. Of course, it is not possible to completely understand Krishna, but we can understand up to the level that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Okay. Once we come to that stage, anxiety never comes to us. We never anchor for the fame or wealth or anything else. Right? We are just focused on how I can satisfy, how I can please Krishna, because that is what my ultimate purpose of life. Right? That's the basic difference in material life and spiritual life. Right? By looking at this slide, can anybody try to explain the difference between material life and the spiritual life? In material life, happiness ends. There is a limit for happiness. But in spiritual life, the blissfulness is eternal. The material life is limited. The lifespan is limited. Happiness is also limited. But in spiritual, there is no lifespan, eternal and blissful. In material life, we are bound by the karma. If we do good deeds, we will get better life. If we do bad deeds, we will get bad, the bodies of the lower consciousness, and then we will suffer the consequences. But in spirituality, based on our devotion, we will be elevated further and further and further. And there is never been suffering. In a material life, we have a repeated births and deaths. In spiritual life, there is no concept of birth and death. There is no return. No return from the place of no miseries. That is Vaikunta. Material life, we anchor for the sense enjoyment. In spiritual life, we are looking for the loving devotional service to the Lord. That's the difference between material and spiritual, right? So from where all this knowledge come? This is also given in Bhagavad Gita. That's why we have to read Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita is the life manual for all of us. In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 20, it is mentioned, those who studies Vedas, drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Worship me means worship Krishna indirectly. They take birth on the planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights. When in the 9.20, chapter 9, text 21, when they have thus enjoyed the heavenly sense pleasures, they return to this mortal planet again, and thus the Vedic principles they achieve only through the Vedic principles, they achieve only the flickering happiness. So-called happiness, what we are thinking about, what we are aiming is a flickering happiness. This is told by the Creator. He cannot be wrong, right? And in chapter 8, text 16, from the higher planets in the material world down to the lowest, all places are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, that is Goloka, Vaikunta, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Punarjanma na vidiyate. In 15.6, chapter 15, text sloka, na tad bhachate suryo, na shashanko, na pavakha, yadgatva nivartante, tadhamam paramam mama. The abode of my mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by electricity. One who reaches it will never return to this material world again. So Krishna is telling, those who do the ritualistic activities, they are promoted to the heavenly planet. There they can enjoy the Soma juice and the celestial beings, right? But after the account is over, they will be sent back to this material world, the earthly planet again, and then they will go through the cycle of birth and death. This happens right from the Patala Loka till the Brahma Loka. All these lokas have this cycle of birth and death, which are considered as place of misery. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam, temporary in nature and place of misery. You may ask, Prabhu, sometimes we are happy, then how you are saying that this is the place of misery? The absence of misery looks like a happiness. When there is a little pause from the misery, we feel that is happiness. But in reality, that is not a blissful state. Absence of misery. Okay. But we all need to aim to go to a place where it is abode of the Lord. There we have eternal, blissful and knowledgeable life. Once we reach there, we will never come back to this planets again. There is no birth, no more death. Right? For that, to achieve that, what we have to do? We have to worship Krishna. Somebody may ask, why I need to worship Krishna? Why not other devatas? Yes, you can worship other devatas, but they are working under the direction of Krishna. Where it is mentioned, the same thing is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also. Lord says, Ananyaschintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nitya bhakti yuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. Those who worship me with devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. Once we become devotee, we will start completely depending on the Krishna. And he will take care of our needs. What we are lacking, he will provide, and what we are want, he will, what we need, he will preserve that. Yoga and Kshema. Right? And what Lord's instruction is, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha ishyami masita. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Don't fear. Once we don't have any sinful reactions, means we are out of cycle of birth and death. That assurance is given by the Lord. He's saying, if you take my shelter, I will take care of your yoga and kshema. I will give what you need, and I will protect what you have, and I will also deliver you from this cycle of birth and death. Then somebody may ask, how can you say that Lord Krishna is capable of doing that? That is also addressed in Bhagavad Gita itself. Lord Krishna says in 9th chapter, 34th sloka, what he is telling us to do, engage your mind. Manmana bhava madbhaktyo majjaji mam namaskuru mam evaishyasi yuktvevam atmanam matparayanam. Engage your mind always in think of me, offer obeisances and worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. And in 18th chapter, he will repeat the same. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer the homages unto me. You will come to me without fail. I promise. This because you are my dear friend. Krishna is telling to Arjuna. Whoever have direct relationship with Krishna will have this assurance. In chapter 18, text 66, abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions and do not fear. These are the instructions of Krishna, right? When we talk about Bhagavad Gita, we say that Krishna's instructions are in Bhagavad Gita. Somebody asked me, I don't see any instructions. Where are the instructions? Here are the instructions, right? Why we need to listen to Krishna? Why Krishna is saying that I will take care of you? Everything is under my control. That is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, Sloka 8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam bhudabhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. This is the exact definition of Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means knowing and accepting that Krishna is the source of everything. Everything comes from him. My duty is to engage in his devotional service. Right? So that's the core message of the today's sloka. Right? Then how can we apply to our modern life? We are distracted. Our mind is wandering behind the social media, likes, dislikes, comments, scrolling, shorts, constant comparison. I am having this, they have that, they are in better position than me. I want to achieve this, I want to achieve that. Fear of failure, fear of missing out. And the latest one is dopamine addiction. Do the things at the last minute at a high state, right? And then enjoy that, the highest anxiety state, right? But what, in contrary, what scriptures are saying, be cool, calm, focused on the service, take the decisions thinking that you are controlled being. Everything is under the control of Krishna. Take decisions which are helpful for long run. Always express gratitude to the Lord for giving everything to us. Focus on sadhana and think beyond the temporary success. Okay. That is what is the takeaway from today's discourse. Right? In conclusion, what we started, Prahlad was well controlled, under well controlled, because he was thinking of higher purpose of the life, right? Controls come from higher purpose. Peaceness comes from steady devotion. Samadhi means consciousness centered around Krishna, right? Samadhi means Krishna consciousness. Keeping Krishna in the center of the life. And the real success is having loving service to Lord and pleasing the Lord. That is the real success. If we do anything and if the Lord is pleased, that is the greatest success we can achieve in our life. So fix the mind on Krishna and then the mind becomes peaceful. Till then, mind will not be peaceful, right? So wandering mind to be engaged in higher purpose, that is in Krishna service, then it automatically becomes controlled by intelligence. Mind will be controlled by intelligence and intelligence will be controlled by consciousness. Once your consciousness become Krishna consciousness, right? The soul is having consciousness. That is the symptom of the soul. Consciousness controls the intelligence. Intelligence controls the mind, right? But if we do not control our senses and mind, then mind starts dominating the intelligence and then our consciousness will become contaminated and we will lose the purpose of the life. For that, what we need to do, come together, have the association of the devotees, always chant the holy name of the Lord to express the gratitude. Oh Lord, you are giving everything to me. What can I do for you? Except chanting your holy name, right? Just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Individually, we have to chant the holy name of the Lord, and then congregationally, together, when we come together and chant, that is called Kirtan, right? Approach a spiritual master, seek his guidance in spiritual advancement, follow his instructions, follow the instructions which are enumerated or mentioned by the spiritual master from the scriptures, and then do the worship of the Lord as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Then our mind will become peaceful, because that is the natural state of our soul. Our soul's natural state is engage in the service of the Lord. Till then, we will be bewildered. So, then live the life. Hare Krishna. So, live the life and leave the life without bewildering. There is a difference. LIVE. Live the life in Krishna consciousness, to leave this planet without bewildered or without having worry. Because this life is a preparation for the passing on. So after this life, we should go back to Vaikunta. We have to make use of every minute in our life to go back to Vaikunta and to serve Krishna. Right? With that, I stop here. Any questions, comments? As I always say, if no questions and no comments, either fully understood or nothing understood.
Understood and time for reflection.
Thank you, Mataji. So can anybody summarize what is the takeaway of the today's discourse?
Material world is temporary. Eternal life, eternal bliss is with Krishna. Have Krishna consciousness. Samadhi is Krishna consciousness. Once you have Krishna consciousness and you love Krishna, he is your friend. He will liberate you from everything, all your pain and sorrow, and from the cycle of birth and death.
Thank you, Mataji. Very good summary. Thank you all. And before I close the session, right? Anybody is having doubts? If no doubts, I would like to reiterate. This might be already covered in the last class, but I'm just trying to re-emphasize the importance of this Adhika Maas, Purushottam Maas, which is ongoing, which is started on May 17th and will go on till 15th of June. This is the most beneficial period for the spiritual practices, because the Lord has given the benediction. Whoever performs the spiritual activities in this month, those will be having higher benefits. Like, for example, if you chant one time the name of the Lord, it is equal to 100 times chanting. Whoever do the chanting of the Lord name, whoever read the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, whoever listen to the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, or engage others to listen to Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, whoever offers the ghee lamp to the Lord, right? Deepadana means at the beginning of the month, you have to take one new deepa, which is metal or brass or the silver or gold. Offer this 30 days, the deepam to the Lord in that, and then give that to a qualified devotee as a dana. That is called deepadana, right? And those who cannot do, you can always give one ghee lamp and one wick, the normal clay lamp or the lamp and with the wick, for others to offer to the Lord, and you can also offer to the Lord. And those who are good in understanding and reading the scriptures, please read Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna book every day. And those who are capable, donate Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam sets to others. And those who are capable, try to minimize your intake and regulate and focus more on controlling your body to worship the Lord. In a way, you have to do more devotional service, less focused on bodily needs, right? And those who have engaged others in the devotional service, they will get higher benefits, right? And those who do offering of the tulasi and the flowers to the Lord, especially lotus flower and tulasi leaf, that will also give you higher benefits. All these things, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, donating Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, engaging in listening and reading the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna book, and offering the ghee lamp, all these things will minimize our distractions and lead our mind from material consciousness to the divine consciousness. That is the benefit of following and doing this Purushottama Masa austerities. Simple. Every day, wake up in the morning, take bath, chant the name of the Lord, offer tulasi, offer fruit, offer lotus flower if possible, otherwise normal flower, listen to the discourses, and call the people when you are going into the discourses, and always think about the Lord. Okay? That is the Purushottama Masa. So opportunity is there till 15th. We are encouraging the devotees to have the house programs. If you want house programs, let us know. We will come and chant in your house. If you want to donate Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita, let us know. We will arrange for you. And Tulasi, you can buy in the market. Lotus flowers, you can buy in the market and offer to the Lord. Right? Discourses, plenty of discourses available. The physical congregations, Bhakti Yoga is conducting on Saturdays like these sessions. Engage yourself and invite others. That gives great benefits. Right? So with that, I stop here. Let us, all of us, unmute and say loudly 11 times. We don't have time to do the one round of japa, but we will say 11 times. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last time, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you all.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you,
Thank you,
Mataji.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha paitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Thank you, Prabhus. Thank you, Matajis. So we end the session now.